Greetings and salutations, welcome to Beyond ARTV. It's time for another episode of 7 on Sunday. Because it's Sunday, check your calendar. Obviously, today on 7 on Sunday, I'm going to be talking about 7 bands that need to be on your radar. 7 smaller bands that you might not know about. I say bands, but bands or artists, whatever it may apply to, these are ones that you don't want to miss. Whether it be because of their eclectic style, their awesome vocal ranges, or just the awesome music that the band is making as a whole. These are people that you're going to want to keep your eyes on because I feel like they're going to be exploding at some point. If they don't, there's something wrong with our current music scene. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook. They're linked in the description down below. And if you would like to help these videos keep coming, support ARTV, you can check out that top link in the description down below and donate on Patreon. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Number 7 are a band that I've been praising for a while, and even though I didn't like their last record, Hitch, quite as much, I still have to give these guys praise. They're from overseas and they've been getting the job done for quite a while. It started with a balloon called Moaning and a single called Whirring, and then it moved forward with an impeccable record, Wolf's Law, in 2013, an album that I still come back to this day. In fact, there's a vinyl copy of it somewhere over here on this shelf. Saw them live at a local venue here in 2014, was just blown away by their performance, their stage presence, just the energy that they have and exude. Great lyrical content from this band. Ritzy is a great singer, and as a trio they work so well together. They play off of each other. You can see that chemistry bleeding through in their albums and in their live performances, and if they're coming through, I highly recommend catching them live. The Joy Formidable mainly play from the alternative and rock approach, definitely a little bit heavier at moments. They can play off of the restraint as well, breaking it down to just an acoustic guitar on some of their moments. You'll see that on Whirring. You may remember that YOLO by The Lonely Island. You might wonder why I was wearing that shirt. It all worked out. It was a total coincidence. I didn't even know that I was gonna do that. Holy shit, that worked out so well. I love it when things work out like that, and like I was saying, I like it when this band breaks it down to a little bit slower pacing as well. They do it a little bit on Whirring. We saw that sampled in YOLO by The Lonely Island featuring Kendrick Lamar and Adam Levine of Maroon 5. And then of course they've got awesome songs like Silent Treatment. And then they have explosive moments as well, like on their new record, Liana, a great song, Mama song, which was fantastically mind-blowing live. Have to recommend these guys. I will be linking all of these bands and their music in the description down below. Car Seat Headrest is the name of the project. It originally started off as just a one-man show, formed into a band over time. There were a lot of early albums, demos, mixtapes, that sort of thing, and then they finally put out a full-length record, which I am thoroughly enjoying. Just really recommending that album to you guys if you have not heard it already. There's some great songs on there, Vincent probably being my favorite out of the group. They do a nice job with the lyrical content, balancing well thought out lyrics and stories and pinning them to these kind of like explosive yet restrained indie leaning songs. There's alternative moments, there's heavier moments, there's moments where you can rock out, but I feel like they do a good job of putting like these long intros that don't get too winding and boring, and then like flaring outros that just really light up the whole record. It's something that if you don't check it out and you like that style of music, you're into like indie rock, then you're definitely doing yourself a disservice. Number 5 on my list might not be all that new. They've been around since 2009, but they might be new to you. They're from the UK. They broke up for a little while, but they came back strong with an awesome record earlier this year. You guys highly recommended Promise Everything to me, at least on the main channel. I was seeing comments there, and then I saw some people in the review community talking about it, friends recommending it to me as well, and I connected with songs like Aqua Sun instantly. They've kind of got this hard-hitting, grungy, just kind of like lost in the abyss feel at times, and I really connected with it. Some bands like that, I just don't care for the lyrical content, but with Promise Everything, they kind of struck an awesome chord, a nice balance between writing that line with the more downtrodden and darker lyrics, but doing so with like a grungy instrumental style, pushing that and kind of a hard rock edge. And I think they do a great job of selling themselves as kind of a lyrical band. They're a little bit wiser than some of their peers, and I think that's why I've been digging them so much. I can't say that all of the album is straight fire in my opinion, but I am enjoying much of it, and Aquasun is easily going to land on my top 50 best songs of 2016. I don't see that being a problem at all. Number 4 are a duo that are back with a new album this year. They're from New Zealand, and they are called Broods. You might remember Evergreen, an awesome album that dropped in 2013. They're finally back. Hopefully Lorde will follow in suit soon. She's also from that country, and she also worked with Joel Little on her first album. This time around, Broods are getting a little bit more experimental with their sound, but I like how they're pushing things. They're mashing a more alternative style with some pop themes, a lot of electronic swells, and they're making music that's connecting with, I think, a radio audience, but still is smart at the same time. I wasn't exactly expecting their new single Free whenever it came out, and the music video that went along with it. It just didn't seem like their style, but I'm liking seeing this different side of them. Not to say that they aren't multifaceted, because I could see that right off of the bat with their debut album Evergreen. You got songs like Four Walls that slowed it down, and then you got Mother and Father, a very relatable tune that is just talking about moving away, the struggles of not being with the people that you're used to being with, and it was a song that I really connected with, spending a year living at the beach, kind of away from everyone. So I would highly recommend Broods, a very solid band, especially in the lyrical department. If you're looking for some good music to groove with, I recommend their first album, and if you're looking for something to get you a little bit more energized, I would recommend the new one.
He traded his guns for love, but he's caught in the crossfire, and he keeps waking up, but it's not to the sound of birds. The tyranny, the violent streets, deprived of all that we're blessed with.
I can't get over how talented number 3 on the list is, and that's crazy that there's 2 people that I'm putting above him. But Steven, an artist simply known as Steven. I reviewed his album recently, kind of electronic, alternative feel, and I'm loving the lyrical content on his stuff. You think of electronic music, you think of these drops, and you think, oh, they're just gonna be singing about, oh, I can't wait for the night to get here, I can't wait to go out and do this thing, or this relationship is holding me back and I'm breaking free, etc. You know, all of the standard bullshit. Steven actually uses his platform to really push himself as an artist. He challenges his mental state, and he thinks about how he's privileged and how he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that he can't do anything. He wants to help. He wants to think about things. And instead of going crazy indulging and being young, he's my age, 24 years old, he's thinking about these things and politics and important stuff in life instead. And I respect him so much for that. Steven, dude, keep it up. We talked in the DMs recently on Twitter. He thanked me for the review of his album, and I have to say, just keep up doing what you're doing, because I am loving it. It's not all like super serious or anything like that, because there's some awesome songs on here that are a little bit more like relationship centric, and then still have awesome drops on them, mixing in like electronics and guitars, like on Remembering Myself, some awesome loops of the guitar there. Just such a fun album to listen to through and through. I highly recommend Sincerely by Steven.
'Cause if you don't believe, it can't hurt you. And when you let it leave, it can't hurt you. 'Cause if you don't believe, then you know it can never do you harm.
It was a huge toss-up for what to put at number 2 and what to put at number 1, but Nothing But Thieves, the UK band, have landed at the number 2 spot. A lot of UK bands on my list, I'm noticing that now. And there's a reason, there's a lot of great stuff going on overseas. Nothing But Thieves, a lot of you guys are probably familiar, they're starting to build up their fan base. I actually talked to them last year on Twitter as well. They had reached out to me for a review of their album, and I ended up doing so and covering it on my blog. I will link that in the description down below if you are curious. Nothing But Thieves play up this alternative style that I wasn't really connecting with at first. I heard Trip Switch and I didn't think it was anything all that special, but I definitely reconsidered once I heard one of my top 5 favorite songs of last year, Itch. Holy shit, they blew me away with just their mind-shattering music video that went with it for one, and just the insanely awesome lyrical content and just the style of the music that goes with it. They play to this alternative feel, but it's not like a lot of the stuff that you're hearing on the radio right now. It's not watered down, it's not tame, it unleashes in a lot of ways, and their vocalist is just incredibly talented. Listen to songs like Graveyard Whistling, and then listen to Trip Switch. They are all over the place in the styles of music that they can accomplish, and it's just impressive what they pull off on their debut album. I cannot give it enough praise and suggest that you guys check it out highly enough. Number 1 on the list, a band that definitely deserves the praise and attention and had to have the number 1 spot because Nothing But Thieves, I thought about giving it to them, but they're already really starting to work their way up. Creeper are the number 1 on my list. They put out the Stranger EP earlier this year, full of songs like Astral Projection that really just remind me of bands like AFI, like meets Jimmy Eat World. I know that's a weird comparison, but I can definitely hear inspiration from both, but they do it in their own unique way. They play like punk-styled music, something that's a little bit faster in places, will remind you of bands like My Chemical Romance, and of course AFI in the vocal department, like I already said. And then they get a little bit darker on like closing moments like Astral Projection, which is probably my favorite song on the entire EP because it shows the most promise for them. Went back, listened to some of their earlier material, and it's clear that they are growing in momentum with each release. They recently opened for Andy Black, who is obviously huge with Black Veil Brides, playing with them, and now coming to the US for some of their own shows. I would love to catch them live, and I hope that you guys will check them out. They play an awesome blend of, like I said, just kind of like punk and rock and alternative music, and I would love to see them blow up in not only the UK, but the United States as well. Definitely check out the Stranger EP because it is fucking fantastic. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know with a like. Let's get this video to 500 likes and maybe I'll make another video like this sometime in the future. Thanks for watching, subscribing to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. You can check me out on Patreon. It's the top link in the description down below if you'd like to support the channel. Find me on Twitter and Facebook. Those are linked below as well. You can check out the full 7 on Sunday playlist if you would like to catch up on some of the past episodes. You can click that little annotation that's floating with the little question mark if you would like to go to last week's episode directly. Other than that, I will see you guys very soon on Beyond ARTV.